I call it a rug, rhymes with Grug. And this one, I call it a video, rhymes with Grug. So if you can't tell by the title, we are actually going to be talking about the Croods, and I never thought in my time on YouTube I'd actually end up talking about this film. So why am I talking about the Croods? I could be talking about so many other films. Well, there's a bit of a lesson that I have sort of looked at recently, that curiosity, people say it's like a killer or something, like they say curiosity killed the cat and such, but within reason, curiosity and basically trying new things in general, as scary as it is, can actually be one of the best things ever. So, if for anybody that hasn't watched The Croods, it's basically about cavemen that they have to leave their cave and they got to go somewhere new. But Grug, the father, kind of the lead caveman, is kind of protective against trying new things, which kind of really goes into real life in a way. Because a lot of us are scared to try new things. We're worried of us looking stupid. We're worried of risk. We're worried of something going wrong and all that. Which is completely valid. I've gone through that so many times in my life. But recently, I've had a couple different things happen. So, one thing I did, which is kind of more of just a fun one-off thing that I did. So in Alberta, there's a spot called the Hoodoos, which are these funny rock formations that came from winds that eroded the rock away, and now they look funny. If I remember, I'll put a picture on screen right now of what they look like. So what you could also do is climb up the side of the Badlands, which is where the Hoodoos are located. And it was sort of just kind of it was a one-off thing. I'm not going to be going back to Alberta at least till next year. So I just thought, you know what? Let's climb and just see how high I go. And I kept going, and I kept going, I kept going. And next thing you knew, I was at the top, although I damn near slipped and fell. So thanks to my stepfather for saving my ass that day, because I could have slipped and fell, and yeah, this would have been like getting over it, except I'm not a guy in a pot. I have limbs that can break. So I'm glad I didn't slip and fall. But I made it to the top. Coming down was a whole other story. I had to slide my way down because I was just too scared and such. Loose gravel and all that. So laugh in the comments if you like. But I look back now and I realized that it was something new. It's basically extreme hiking without proper equipment. But it's also just to try a new thing and to experience something. I really learned that, and there was actually something that I was gonna do when I was out there, but I didn't end up doing it because I just wasn't feeling it. It was the gondola in Banff. You can go up to a mountain and get some cool views, so I did it and ended up doing that for whatever reason, and yeah, do I regret it? Yes, I do. I wish I would have done it, but hey, the gondola's not going anywhere. It'll be there for me next year. Another new thing that I've mentioned in a previous video was engaging in a Discord community, which is completely new to me. It's not like it's not a normal thing for me. I'm always used to doing things in person. I'm kind of pretty gung-ho about doing stuff in person, especially after the pandemic. I basically value any in-person connection, but I've made some videos recently kind of talking about how things are around here. I've struggled to find meaningful relationships. They just seem impossible to find. Even friendships kind of get a little wonky sometimes. So I've kind of just come to the conclusion that I have to branch a little bit and look online. Two reasons. One, because there are good people out there, and two, it's the way the world's heading, right? We're all kind of doing stuff online, and I mean, hey, it doesn't hurt to have online friends. Key, though, obviously, I'm going to go on a quick tangent, is you got to remember who you've got in person if you got friends or family, and B, you got to make sure you don't lose your in-person skills and all that. So yeah, going on to a Discord server for me is new and such, and I had a curiosity, you could say, whenever I went to that group VC about just talking about whatever, giving advice, yada yada yada. But it was new. I was stepping on a stage, basically, talking to 20 different strangers, but hey, I'm still here, and people were like, yeah, we're like, good on you for getting up here and such. So, not in all cases, there's going to be some times you'll try something new and it may fall through. And I guess what I'm talking about here is like, if you try something new entirely, let's just say you take a new career path, you start a YouTube channel, you start a new fitness routine or something like that. It's new. And sometimes not everything works out. Some things are just out of our reach, maybe for a reason or whatnot. Maybe it's best to come back to it later or something like that. I learned that with YouTube because I've made so many different channels, and now I'm actually being consistent for the first time in a while. Even starting this channel, I'm actually, knock on wood, pretty consistent. So that kind of leads me to the next point of curiosity in trying new things, is that sometimes it comes with a lot of struggles. Look at Grug. He struggled to accept the fact that his family was pretty dead set on trying new things, but he was stuck behind ruminating on the past. But at some point he does accept that we have to follow the light. And following the light is trying new things and such. In this analogy, following the light can mean so many different things. But that's what we gotta do as well. We gotta have an open mind. We don't always have to have something new waiting for us, because if we always have something new waiting for us, then we sort of lose track on our present. And that's a problem I've had so much with wanting to move away from where I live. I've been so hyperfixated on that I've really forgotten about the good things I've had here. Like I've mentioned, I don't take my own advice. I am terrible for taking my own advice. And I've said, I've got to start watching my own videos. I might do that tonight at work, who knows? We'll see what happens. But you have to keep yourself present. You can look in the future. I mean, if you're future-oriented in ways, that's amazing. With some things like relationships and finances and housing and all that kind of stuff, yeah, being future-oriented is very good. But with certain things, but even with those things, you still have to keep your eyes on the present moment. If you've got family, if you've got friends, if you've got responsibilities, you have to keep focusing on those. Just because you have a grand idea, or if you can actually make it a plan, you still have to focus on the present moment. If this channel was making me enough money to move tomorrow, let's say, and let's just say I set the move date to a month from now, well, I'd still have a lot of stuff to take care of. I'd have to give my notice at my job. I'd have to go around and say farewell to my family. I'd have to take care of stuff at my home. I'd have to prepare for the move. There's a lot of stuff. If I weren't focusing on the present moment, I'd just be looking at the move date, and I get there, I'm like, well, I haven't even packed yet, and I'm still employed. It's that these are throwing a bit of sarcasm in this analogy right here with like the work and such. Common sense is that you'd give your notice, quit your job, whatever. You'd pack and all that stuff, but even with just day-to-day things, so your chores and just basic upkeep in life, whatever it may be, everybody's situation's different, so I don't really want to give any examples because I don't want to leave anybody behind. But you got to focus on the present moment while still looking towards the future. It's always good to look towards the future and see if a certain path is suitable for you or not. Right now, I see this path that I'm on as being very suitable and that it would be very life-changing, but I still have to be open to the idea or fact that things could change. You just never know what's next. And this is not to say that a bad thing's gonna happen. There's a couple bad things I could think of that would really affect me not going out there. Again, this place I'm going to has got some political crap going on that we're not going to talk about today. But there's also finances. What if the channel just does not go anywhere? What if I'm that bad of a creator or something that I can't use this to kickstart that move? Well, then I have to keep working, and then I can't go anywhere. So that's why a big sort of analogy for me is that I look at a lot of this as building a future. So let's just say next year, okay, this channel is making me money, I could actually move. Well, then I can pick where I want to move. Let's just, if I say that Alberta or something, it just turns into to hell or something like that. Okay, then I could go to Ontario. I could go to a whole other country, maybe, if I learn the language. Who knows? And I think that's a good way to explore new things, is to do it with an open mind. Not everything needs to have a meaning behind it. There's a new restaurant, it's not going to change your life. I mean, unless it's a really good restaurant, then you have yourself a new place to go to on the regular. Yeah, so that's kind of life-changing, but not everything needs to have a purpose for life or be life-changing. Sometimes just exploring a new thing can just bring your life up in ways or make you feel happy. And sometimes that's all we need, is just a little bit of happiness. So to end off this video today, if there's one thing that you should do after this video, is to think of something new that you could do, whether it's going to a new place, trying a new food, trying a new restaurant, saying hi to that person that you always see. Give it a shot. The worst thing that could happen, and this is the literal worst thing that could happen, is that you don't take the shot. Because as that common saying goes, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. It's statistically true. Basketball, if you don't take the shot, you're gonna miss, right? So if there's something you want to do, just go do it. I got a lot of other videos on this channel that could help you, so if you want to get some more help, advice, whatever you need, go check out the videos on the channel. There's probably something there for you. We've got like 29 Minecraft Rambles at this point, and it's hard to believe I've been making all these videos for quite a while. So, anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for your support and all that. And as always, stay safe and take care.